Festival East. I'm giving you another update on VCF East. This is update number 2 on Saturday, February 10th. So let me just see. Wow, you got a lot of people putting in comments here. Okay, great. So we have a lot of updates. It's been about a month since the last updates. We have exhibitors. Oh, we just now today filled up all the tables that we have. We have 28 exhibits registered. We have exhibits registered in, so total is 70 tables for the exhibits and the vendors. So right now, you if you want to still register to be an exhibitor, you can. You'll be put on the waiting list. What I'll do now is I will map out where everybody goes, because some people have different different preferences, where they want to be, who they want to be next to, everything like that. So I have to figure that out. And also the idea is to reduce crowding. So I want to have the exhibits in the tables designed to be a little bit better for crowding situations. So it'll be much better than last year. It was very crowded. So right now we're full. You can still register. You'll be on the waiting list. You know, you never know. People do drop out from exhibits at the last minute. So even before the last minute. So you can, if you're still interested, you should still register. You'll be put on the waiting list, and I'll see what I can do. But for now, it's full. Just looking at the comments. So we have 8 vendors. You know what I might do is I will take a look at. Let me just do a sharing of a window here. All right. So this is the VCF website. So exhibits. All right. So we have exhibits. VC Fed. So there's some members from VC Fed who are going to do a history of the GUI. TRS-80, Motorola, Apple's Risk Revolution. So we have a big assortment of different ones. Dutch computers. So Bart from Home Computer Museum Netherlands. Restorations, 40 years of Macintosh. IBM mid-range system. So he wants to be surprised. He's not going to tell what it is yet. Some Apple systems, Geos, that's already interesting. Commodore windowing system, serial port. These guys did the Weather Channel thing. They do it every year. It's really cool. Everybody likes it. Luggables, OS What Ifs, My Story Computer, FujiNet. Yeah, it's great. FujiNet's a great thing. It's 5 years. Teletypes. This guy's going to bring some teletypes that you can work on here. Heath kits, clones from South America. That should be interesting. You never see much of that. 50 years of Ethernet and LAN. It was actually started last year with 50 years, but it's close enough. Cosmec, Heath kits, pen plotting, Dave's Retro Lab. He did the cameras. That's pretty cool stuff. And last one just came in today. They got the last 3 tables. So a lot of cool stuff there. And what do we have next? So let me look at, I'm going to stop presenting for a second. So vendors, that's what I was going to do next. So we have 8 vendors, 15 tables, and let's show you what we have for vendors. And that is exhibits. Vendors. All right, vendors. Happy Hardware, Tech Dungeon, Retro Innovations. That's Jim Brain does that. Jess Vintage Electronics. He's one member. Emmy Bear Retro. Eli Software. How's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm missing one more. I'm missing some. I got to update the website. All right, so those are vendors. Stop presenting for a second. Oh, speakers. All right, so Guy Fettercow, he is unable to make it. He had a previous commitments to go through, so he had to cancel. But we have, this might be a little bit accurate, but it was 16 talks. I'm not sure if that's the exact number. So we have a lot of speakers now. So 3 roundtables, one on Friday, one on Saturday, one on Sunday. The one on Friday is being moderated by Jerry Ellsworth. I'm still working on some of the speakers. Some of them were unable to, so I'm working for other ones. So some of them are pending. They're really close to committing. But she will be moderating that one on Friday. Saturday is Sean Malseed of Action Retro will be moderating. And we're hoping to have Amiga Bill, Ash Said Hi, Lady Aurolis, and Ron's Computers on that roundtable. On Sunday roundtable, Apollo Guidance Computer Roundtable. So right now we have 3 confirmed. We have Frank O'Brien, he's the moderator, Curious Mark, and Carl Klunch. I'm waiting to hear back and confirm from Mike Stewart, Don Isles, and Hugh Blair Smith. So I'm still waiting confirmation on those. But we have a lot of speakers here. A lot of different ones. For those Mac enthusiasts, you're going to have Ron Nicholson. You know, a lot of people may not have heard of Ron Nicholson, but he did work on the Macintosh. He did work on one of the chips for it. He also worked on the Amiga. So he's done a lot of stuff. He got a lot of patents and things. So, but he's not well known, but he's very interesting, did a lot of cool stuff. Oh, hold on. Oh, okay. I was a little worried for a second that I didn't have a connection. All right. Someone said no live streams. Oh, so I was just worried for a second. I saw in the comments. So no live streams from the show. This is because it was a luxury for us to do this, to stream live, but it was a big problem last year. We do it at a InfoAge site, and they're a nonprofit, and they don't have corporate level networking systems. I mean, the problem has been fixed from last year, that there was a problem, but we have so many people on campus, and you're not like a corporation where you have paid people to support that. So it's just not supportable, in other words, and we have to live stream. We can't do that anymore. So sorry for those that can't attend in person. We will record all the talks. We will record all the talks and release them later on YouTube. We will also have some film students from high school film students. They're majoring in high school film production. They will be going around campus interviewing exhibitors, doing behind the scenes stuff. So there's going to be a lot of extra content available after the show. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And this is something I've always wanted to do. I know Amiga Bill had done that a few times when he was there. He was interviewing the exhibitors. And I know there's different YouTube channels, people that do that. They'll go around taking film, and that's great, and I love that, and we'll continue to do that. But we're gonna have one of our own guys doing some stuff too. So sorry, no live stream time. Other speakers, Carl Clonch is going to do his own talk about restoration. He's a great guy. He does restoration of the IBM 1130, and he's finishing up this is one from System Source, and we'll be working on the VCF one very soon. Oh, so Dave McMurtry from Commodore International Historical Society. Some of you may know them if you're in the Commodore circles. He's done a lot of research and a lot of digging around for Commodore history, and he's going to come and interview Andy Finkel. I know a lot of people wanted to have Andy Finkel come. Andy's like, well, let me think about what I should talk about. Well, here's the better to have like interview type format, especially with someone like Dave who can ask questions that he knows backwards and forward. So we have Andy Finkel there, and because he had worked on a number of things at Commodore, and that will be on the Friday, right? And on Saturday, Dave McMurtry will do Al Charpentier. He was one of the engineers on the Commodore 64 and the VIC chip. So that is a great, that's helpful to me because I may know a little bit of history, but it's nice to have someone to can interview them and really know their stuff. I've in the past I've had Steven Edwards. He's a professor at Columbia, and he knows his stuff too. And I've had him interview different people, and it's great. Thomas Sherrick Holmes will do FujiNet, and got some other ones. Oh, some Nabu guys are going to be coming. They weren't able to make it last year, but they'll make it this year. So that's it for the speakers. Let me just see. Did I have that updated on the website? I have vendors, talks. Oh, yeah. So I have a bunch of stuff here. I can share this fairly quickly, but I mean, you guys can go to the website to see this. Let's see, share a window. So here you go. Friday's talks. And it's almost full. The speaker schedule's almost full. I don't want to overload it. I'm going to have a lunch break for the AV guys at all 3 days, and a lot of cool stuff here. A big, broad range of things. So nobody can excuse me of being too Commodore centric, even though it's just because Bill Hurd is always there, helping us. He'll be there, but he won't be talking. He won't be moderating, but he'll be there in person. So we have, let me just see if there's any questions in the stream while I'm looking at different people from different places. Oh yeah, so where's VCF East? VCF East is in Wall Township, New Jersey at InfoAge Science and History Museums, formerly Camp Evans. Even visiting that place is great because it's a lot of history there. A lot of things went on. It has a satellite dish that was took the first weather satellite photos. They did some research on transistors. And in fact, Fred Carl is going to be talking about that. That's one of the speakers. So he'll be talking about how Camp Evans' role in creating the transistor. I know that's, Bell Labs had, officially created it, but they had actually worked with Camp Evans, the engineers there. So, and let's see, any other questions I see here, and then I'm going to move on. People in here talking is pretty cool. All right, so let me move on. So that's speakers, volunteers. We could always use volunteers. So there's a volunteer registration on the VCF East page, and always use them. More volunteers. Oh, the hotel blocks. So hotel block number 1, that is at hold on. So the hotel block number 1 is almost full. We had originally started out with just 10 people, or sorry, 10 rooms allocated. And then we filled up those, and then she extended it again and again and again. And we're almost filled up that hotel. So Atlantic Inn and Suites is the hotel block one. That's almost full. There's still like some available. We're gonna fill up that hotel with all of our members. She's very happy about that. So some of the prices have gone up because they're like king size beds and et cetera. So it may be like $100 instead of $80, but it's still pretty good. Because you do have the second hotel block. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's like, you know, a higher scale hotel. We're still working on hotel block number 3, so I'm going to try to push for that because this second hotel block ends on February 16th. So I'm glad I could do this time. I know people asked about it, and I know from going to other shows, it's really nice to have a hotel block where you could get some discounts, and the hotels love it too. So that's working out really well. So hotel block code consignment. So the new consignment system, we're working hard on that. I do have meetings every week with the consignment crew. We're hoping the goal is to get the new system done by February 29th and go live for registering through consignment on March 12th. So we'll have to do we're going to do like 2 weeks of testing. So it'll be like, this is what we've always wanted. And it has a web interface, a smartphone interface, you know, a solid database, which is fast, and not going to fail. So every year we get better with that system. And again, consignment is going to be in a new building. It's twice the size. And it's going to have a separate entrance for loading and unloading. Front desk, working on front desk, making that a little bit spacious, and all the swag is going to be available at the front desk instead of consignment like last year. Glitchworks is going to be still selling kits. Everybody always loves that. I wish I could give them more space, but it's very limited in where we are. But he's going to be there selling his kits and lots of swag. So buy the swag. Oh, so one thing is I'm going to do is, you buy a 3-day pass, there's going to be a special badge for those who buy 3-day tickets. So 3-day tickets only. And the badges for the volunteers, exhibitors, volunteers, they're going to have special color codes so we can identify those people. We're going to still sell like signed badges from different famous vintage computer people. Oh, and tickets. Tickets are available. We did have some problems with I'm going to bring this up. We did have some problems with our system on the website. So Eventbrite is up. So buy your tickets through Eventbrite. If you are a VCF member, then you can go through our website. So buy your tickets through Eventbrite. That's live now. Tickets are available. The discounted tickets for VCF membership only. So if you are a VCF member, then you can get the discounts. All right. So that's the second option, is only for if you're a VCF member. But otherwise, go through Eventbrite. That's like a really nice interface there. So then it's easy to remember websites. VCFeast.eventbrite.com. So what else? Volunteers. Oh, I'm gonna have more updates. Next updates will be Saturday, March 9th at 6:30 p.m. Oh, another thing, if you pre-register for the tickets, then you can go in the North Gate. I'm going to call it the North Gate. North Gate is a little bit easier to get in through the campus, but that's for pre-registered only, because we can't have two different front desks, but we can have a check-in through that north gate, so it's a little bit easier, so you could go through the campus instead of on the grass that goes around the campus. So if you're prepaid, we'll have that list of people, and you can go in the north gates. That's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We'll have different volunteers there. We again do have the Sea Cadets helping us volunteer. They've been really helpful. Um, it would be much harder to manage if we didn't have them. So there's two parking again. There's the main parking lot, which is right by the entrance, and once that fills up, then you go to the overflow parking lot. You can't park in the Little League field parking lot. No. So food. I'm working on the food. As you can see, I've been working on 1,000 other things, and these are very important things, but I am working on the food. So we will be selling food on site. I'm trying to do something better than last year where it was microwave. So I'm hoping that the fire museum guys will sell food, because they did a good job there when they were at our last two swap meets. So now they get all the profits for the food. I don't care. It's just convenience for everybody. I'd like to have it on campus. But if you do want to go outside, we have two places so far that are sponsors for our program book. They paid to have advertisement in our program book. So there's two places that we recommend if you don't like the food that we have on campus and you're willing to drive. They're very close by, within like 2 miles. There's Anthony's Pizza, great pizza there, and there's Valenti's. It's a great Italian deli. They got overloaded with people last year. When some of our docents went in there, the Valenti's, they're like, "What the hell did you guys do that last weekend?" Because they were so overwhelmed with people, and they weren't expecting it. They weren't ready for it. So now this time I went there, I got them to sign up the ad book, and also I warned them, "You're going to get a lot of people." And that sort of helped me to sell the thing, because I was like, "Hey, get ready for this. You're going to have a lot of people coming." So Valenti's and Anthony's Pizza. There's two other places I'm working on, but if they don't get in the program book, that's their fault. I'm not going to mention their names. So, but good places that we go to all the time, so we recommend those two places. Oh, so someone says prepaid to go through the alternate entrance because their badges won't be available at the main one. So I think, so regular admission, they just get a wristband. If you're just a regular attendee, you could just get the wristband. And the badges are for volunteers, exhibitors, vendors, VIP. I have to actually think about that. If they were such, usually they're going to be there earlier, but I have to think about if there's a way that they can get in through that other entrance. But that side entrance, the main idea was that if you're just a regular attendee, you're on the list, that you're prepaid, you get the wristband, and then you can walk around campus. That's what that's about. And our VCF museum, as always, will be open on Friday. Normally, the museum's only open Saturday, Sunday, and Wednesday, 12 to 5, but we're going to have extended hours, so we're going to be open on Friday. Our VCF museum is gone through a lot of changes over the last year, so there's going to be a lot of improvement in there, a lot to see, a lot to do in our museum. And then during Saturday and Sunday, the InfoAge museums, they're really great. They'll also be open 12 to 5 Saturday and Sunday. They're quite surprised when it gets so many people there. So I have to warn them too that, get some extra docents in the museums, because, you're going to get a lot of people. There's a lot to see there in those museums, even at the radio dish down the road. Hopefully they get that working so that it's like movable, but there's still like great artifacts there in Command Station. So I'm ending my update here. If there are any questions, you guys can post it in the chat there. But it looks like, we're moving along pretty smoothly. Again, I said I was going to give another update in about a month there. And a lot is going on. We're, working through a lot of this stuff right now. Let's see if there's some comments in here. No live stream. Yeah, live streams are too much trouble. Oh, Sunday. So yeah, if there are like mistakes on the website, let me know. I do my best to update it because what I'll do is at the end of the year, I'll copy the website and put it in an archive, but I don't always update. So the exhibitors stop at 2 p.m. on Sunday, but the show, this last speaker, the last roundtable should end by 3:30 p.m. But we'll keep the front desk open until 5 p.m. because that's regular InfoAge hours anyway. It has to be open till 5. So, and Consignment's probably going to close around 3 or 4. We have to nail down that. I can't remember what we did last year, but somewhat like 3 or 4 Consignment will shut down. So exhibitors 2 p.m. Last speakers end at 3:30. Consignment probably around 4, maybe a little earlier because we have to count out and pay out the money. And then the front desk at 5 o'clock. I hope that answered that question. I think. And I'll take a look at the website for the times. Oh, will there be any speakers on computers like the TRS-80? No TRS-80 speakers right now. I don't think anybody talking about BASIC. There was someone was interested in talking about Mac repairs, but they haven't registered yet, and but nothing about BASIC. But I didn't mention the computer classroom. Oh, shit, I can't remember. So there's a computer classroom. So every year we do a different computer classroom. First time we did it was Apple, and then we did the Commodore 64, and then this year we're going to do Atari. So we're Atari 800 XL classroom. So there's guys that are working on that too. There are going to be different classes in there. And we'll figure out the sign up process, but they're going to be like different like packages that you can buy with like FujiNet and special T-shirts and a badge. It's really, really cool. So it's going to be Atari Classroom this year. So I'm just making a note so I can remember and I tell that next time. So Atari Classroom. Yeah, Atari Classroom. Good. Someone mentioned that. I almost forgot about that. Oh, yeah, there's one more thing. So yeah, the Atari Classroom, basic, assembly, FujiNet, how to use it, that sort of thing, advanced, basic, that sort of thing. So we will have that classroom. Next year might be like Tandy. We'll figure it out. So we're gonna like go through different microcomputers and then sort of circle back to the first one. So it's kind of fun. It worked out really well. People really like classrooms. What was Google saying? Are you still there? All right, so one more thing, the T-shirt. All right, so working on the T-shirt, we had that certain design, but it didn't. I asked some people about it, and they didn't like it, so we're gonna redesign it. So hopefully, the T-shirt design, it has to be done pretty quickly. So it has to be done within a week, so we can have plenty of time to get it through the T-shirt guy to make sure the colors are good, and then you can order them and print them and stuff. So T-shirt design should be done pretty soon. It's going to be fun as usual. It's going to have the Mac on it, the Mac original Mac 128K, and I won't tell you the rest. The table layouts for the exhibitors, it'll be done when I finish it. Now that all the exhibitors are in, I gotta sit down and figure out all options. So as soon as I have the time to figure out the layout, because that's the other thing, is I had an exhibitor manager, and then for personal reasons he dropped out, so I have to take up that task of organizing the exhibits. And so that's kind of a big job, but I need to get some other things in place because time is running out for certain things and I have to get them in place. But I'll be working on that as soon as I get time. And I know I will have some time coming up on the 19th because I'm not working that day. So within the next 2 weeks, I will be somewhere close to finishing that, hopefully, because I will lay it out and then send it to the exhibitors to see what they think about it. So do the best I can with that. I gotta find some easy to use software for someone who is not like super technical with particular software, because I don't usually do the layouts. So I'm gonna just find something easy to use and then lay it out and look at everybody's preferences. Yeah. So yeah, and there's another thing is that and that's important because some people requested certain things, and I have to like some network requests, and I have to count up those and see if I can provide that, because they were actually setting up access points actually today in the bigger exhibit room 9032A. Because they weren't available last year, so I got them to install those. So we're working on certain exhibits that we're asking for a certain network type access. So I got to look at that too and get that in motion. So looks like there's no more questions here. And I think I talked about everything. And I always seem to think about something else. But thank you guys. Thank you everyone. It's looking good. It's going to be a really exciting show. A lot going on. A lot of fun. So it's always worth it to come to the show. Take some days off and come long distance and come see the show. So I don't see any more questions, so I'm gonna end this stream. So I'll see you next time on the updates in about a month. And we're pretty close to where everything, wrapping up as much as we can, and I'll let you know what else is updated. So I will see you later, everyone.